Welcome back to Ancardia, everybody. This is my new series, Surviving Ancient Domains of Mysteries Roguelike mode. I'm your host, Ziegander, and let's get right back into the Ziegander characters playthrough. In the last episode, we left off, we finally reached Dwarf Town after a harrowing encounter with a steel zombie. I do not recommend trying to fight one at level 10, no matter how strong your equipment is. We ended up having to beg for a divine favor from our deity and run away. Steel zombies must be slow. There's no other way we could have gotten away from it otherwise. That's pretty dangerous. Could have brought the run to a crashing halt. But it's not really about a run anyway. It's more about education, so hopefully that's why you're here. Last episode, we also talked to Thrundar in Dwarf Town, and he gave us a quest to go slay a troll. So we're going to head back to the big room. Hopefully we can avoid the steel zombie and not get completely destroyed by it. Ouch. A master thief, even. Alright, let's bring him to Dwarf Town. And hope that the guards can help fight it. Hey, dwarf guard, you want to help me out here? No? You don't? You don't care about the master thief that's terrorizing the village? Hello? He's terrorizing the village. He's chaotic AF. Maybe he'll help me if I get hurt by it? See, look, he hurt me. And he robbed me. Want to help out now? No? Nobody? Okay. Well, we could be in trouble here, too. Luckily, he's content to hurt me. Or to rob me. Ow. He's kicking our butt. Sheesh. Let's walk around until we get our health back. Without having to worry about fighting the steel zombie. Because the master thief is hard enough. I don't know if there was a strange message that played on the Caves of Chaos level 10 that I just missed that would indicate that there's going to be stronger monsters than normal here. It will not play again, unfortunately, if there was such a message. Hopefully the steel zombie's not going to be blocking our way here. Alright, luckily we're safe for now. That's a chaos lizard. Oh, yikes. Alright, let's try to kill it. We'll go berserk on it. There's the zombie. He's blocking our path, so that's not good. Back up through here. And now he's just going to chase us down. That's okay, because we are going to lead him on a merry chase. Maybe the caveman will help me out here. Nope, okay. Yeah, see, somehow we got away from him last time, but now let's do monster memory on him. A huge mockery of a man, of steel and copper, with great taloned hands. The gleaming red eyes catch sight of you, and steam wafts from its back as it lumbers toward you. Its mouth is fixed in a hideous gaping grin, belching fire. Steel zombies have a protection value of 18, so that's the same as I do. Let's see here. Usually they attack 2 times. A hit causes 28 to 32 points of damage. 29 on average. They have an average speed of 109. They are able to quickly regenerate. So as you can tell, they're a fairly tough enemy, and they're out of our league right now. Yulgash is actually saying you might want to do something about burden. That's not a bad idea. We are strained. I'm also going to see, we have some wands here. So I know the glass wand is a wand of light, but what are these other wands? We might as well find out. That does nothing. Teak wand was nothing. Glass wand is light. Wooden wand? Interesting. Was a wand of wonder. Okay. I cast Burning Hands from the Wand of Wonder. I was like, a wand never casts Burning Hands. That dealt quite a lot of damage, but unfortunately, a Wand of Wonder is not going to do me any good. They cast random spells. It does teach me the spell, but only a few castings. So let's see if I press Z. Whoops, not Z. Shift Z. I do still have a couple castings left. We may be able to take care of it with just Burning Hands. So I'm going to give that a shot. Exhaust myself, sure. There we go. Not too bad. And now we still have one cast left. He dropped a two-handed sword. We're not going to worry about that. Let's head back up. If you were doing this, and you were a newcomer to this game, and you died to that steel zombie, even if you had 18 protection value, you shouldn't feel any shame. A steel zombie is not something you encounter until many levels later, and it can still deal quite a lot of damage when you encounter it, like say at level 18. That monster was way out of our depth. And I just luckily had a Wand of Wonder to deal with it. We also have no skill with swords, that's why we're missing so many times. But let's make our way back to the big room, which was quite a few levels above. There we got sword level 1. Sword skill level 1, I should say. A bone helmet. That could be quite a lot of protection, actually. Unfortunately, we are already hungry, and that could be a problem. We're going to want to go Berserk for the Displacer Beast, because they're already hard enough to hit. And I may even switch back to the Mace. In fact, I will, just because these guys are so hard to hit. There we go. I'll go ahead and switch back to the sword now, just to train it a little bit. And normal. And I'm gonna... I don't want to eat any herbs yet, because I don't know what they do. If I get hungry exclamation point, which is certainly going to come soon, I sense imminent danger. Imminent danger, so this is actually your warning that there's an out-of-depth monster on the field. Hopefully it's not another steel zombie. That'd be hilariously bad luck. I'm also strained, though, unfortunately. So all of that burden that Yulgash mentioned is also making me hungrier. So let's see if there is anything we can do about our burden. Might have to drop that scale mail. Might have to drop the mithril... I was gonna say the mithril mace, but that's our moneymaker right there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I forgot I'm carrying the strange item. And these rocks with metal veins. I can probably go ahead and drop those. We will go ahead and when you get hungry like this and you don't have any food, this is where you definitely want to manage your burden. This will raise my speed, but it'll also reduce the amount of food that I need to consume. So good call on that, Yulgash. Thanks for the advice. Let's drop the scale mail. Wait. Scale mail. Let's drop the metal. No, let's drop... Let's drop the hatchet. And let's drop the rocks with metal veins for now. And the iron ore. I'll actually keep whatever the lightest one is probably Eternium. I'll keep that and drop all the other ones. Let's see how that does. We're still burdened, but we're not strained. So that will help a little bit. Now, hopefully we can find some food to eat. Not a giant spider. Of course. I don't remember. I think the spider makes me vomit, which will make me even hungrier. I want to eat a spider, to be honest, so I can gain poison resistance, but not like this. Wow, okay. There's our out-of-depth monster. It's a clay golem. We can probably handle a clay golem, but I don't care to fight it because it's really tough, and it's just going to waste turns. There's a troll chief? That's another very difficult monster. That's probably the out-of-depth. We are having a string of poor luck here. Killing the troll chief also, I don't believe, counts as killing just a troll, which is unfortunate. I am forced now to... Yikes. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try to take out the clay golem. Let's switch to the mithril mace. Let's kill the goblin just to stop being surrounded. So the clay golem hits pretty hard. Woof. 33 damage from the troll chief. He also hits pretty hard. Level 11. I'll get find weakness above 60. I'll get healing, hopefully to 60. Dang. And let's see. You feel soft-hearted. You're getting a cold. You're getting out of touch with everything. Not sure what damaged my stats for all of that. That's rough. Soft-hearted means that I lost a point of willpower. Getting a cold, I'm not 100% sure what that did. I think maybe it reduced my toughness. And getting out of touch with everything is mana. Oh, Yulgash says that's from the HP casting. When I cast Burning Hands earlier, it costs 15 power points, and I only have a maximum of 7. I would honestly say it was probably worth it. But yeah, I forgot about that. When you cast a spell and you don't have the mana to do it, not only does it deal you damage, but it like reverse trains your stats. I only knew that it would reverse train mana. I didn't realize that it also reverse trained willpower and toughness. That's pretty brutal. But that's okay. That's nothing that you can't get back. The mana is a little harder to get back, but we're not really going to use mana with this character. Again, this is very wild. So, trying to do a series on surviving hardcore mode. I mean, this is hardcore mode. This kind of stuff can happen in hardcore mode. I've never seen this happen though. So, being like a tutorial attempt at this game and trying to show you how to play this game and encountering monsters this difficult at this depth of the Caves of Chaos and at this character level is incredibly abnormal. Again, if you were to run into a troll chief as a beginner in this game, even if you have 17 protection value, don't feel bad if you end up dying, because there's really not much good advice I can give you for fighting a troll chief at level 11 in this game, in the Caves of Chaos level 9. They're not... I would say the troll chief is not as hard, maybe, as a steel zombie. I don't think they have quite as much protection value, but they can hit harder. So let's check monster memory here. This one seems a bit larger than your everyday troll, if such a thing could be possible, and half of one of its horns is broken off, probably in a fight with another troll. It flashes a toothy, menacing grin and grunts. Usually troll chiefs attack 2 times. A hit causes 13 to 51 points of damage. Yeah, so they can definitely hit harder than a steel zombie. They just don't have the protection value. Unfortunately, they're a troll, so they have very good health regeneration. So this also could be the way we die. I mean, I don't... Their speed's only 96, but my speed right now is only 95. I don't really have a good way... Oh, yeah. Yulgash makes a good point. We're fairly close to Dwarf Town now, and we also have another lawful altar that we found, I believe, on this level. It might not have been on this level, it might have been on level 10. When you get overwhelmed like this, and you might get overwhelmed by something that's not even quite as hard as a troll chief, like let's say you're playing a wizard, or even like a monk or an archer, and you get cornered by a big gnarly monster like this. What you can do, if you are close to an altar, is lead them to the altar. The troll is a chaotic monster. Most of the monsters in this game are chaotic. If you lead them onto a lawful altar, just like you can sacrifice gold to an altar, you can sacrifice living creatures to an altar. The lawful deities seem to like that. It increases your piety, and it instantly kills the monster. So, the fact that we don't have any food is a problem. But it might be the only way we can survive against this troll. So what I'm going to do is try to lead it back down to Dwarf Town, and hopefully we don't run into anything else insane. He's throwing a lot of rocks at us, which is kind of good. He's giving us a lot of distance. What we may be able to do then is just keep away from him for a while. If I can get more distance on him, just like that. There we go. I'm going to ignore him for now and then just head up to the big room. And then maybe on the way back, I will lead him to the altar in Dwarf Town. Discretion is the better part of valor. Luckily we got a hippogriff corpse. We are definitely going to eat that. Hopefully we don't run into too many large orcs. Again, dwarves will not eat orcs. Kobold chieftain, we can't eat kobolds either. Be nice if we ran into monsters that we could eat. The altar is right up here, so that's another thing to remember. The troll chief is on level 9, and he's fairly close to the stairs to level 8, and the altar is on level 8. So we could also do that. That's a little bit faster than taking him back to Dwarf Town. You also can't, I mean, you can eat zombies, but I don't recommend it. Let's get him away from the stairs before we go up. And now we're in the big room. Goblin corpse rotting away, a chaos rat corpse rotting away. That's unfortunate. We really need monster corpses right now, and not rat corpses, because rat corpses make you puke. Giant rat corpses taste like chicken. None of these are giant rats, unfortunately, and you don't want to eat a were rat. I'm not going to bother with any of these herbs for now. We need a troll or food. And since I can't... identify the herbs right now... Oh, yikes. Be careful with ghouls, even with this amount of defense. Kill them quickly. Ghouls can paralyze you with their melee attack. Given the chance to attack them from range, you want to. With this many ghouls, that means there's a necromancer summoning them somewhere out of my sight. He's probably just right up here. No? Okay, that's surprising, but... for food, Yulgash is also mentioning... Yulgash, there he is. Yulgash is a fairly prominent Ancient Domains of Mystery streamer on Twitch. If you enjoy this series, I definitely recommend watching Yulgash's playthroughs on Twitch. He does a variety of more challenge runs than I do. He's far more experienced with the game than I am. So, I mean, as you can tell, he's kind of giving me play-by-play tips here as I pass the knowledge on to you. He's mentioning, too, that in a food crisis like this, you can go back up to the arena level, which I kind of skipped over before, but there are vendors, little, like, rat folk vendor guys, that sell cheap food that doesn't satiate very much. Good God. But it's better than having nothing. Now, we found a large ration on the floor. That's fantastic. So we're doing okay. I think now that we are out of kind of food crisis mode, I am going to take Yulgash up on that advice and go back up to the arena level. It's safe to eat gnolls. They taste rotten, but they're fine. They're perfectly satiating. Go buy a bunch of... Oh, jeez. This could be bad. Okay, good. Go buy a bunch of junk food. Just so we don't run into a food crisis again. Then I'll come back down here and we'll look for the troll. If you press W and then one of the caret buttons, caret left will lead you to the upstairs, caret down will lead you to the downstairs, and it just kind of auto moves until you get interrupted by something like that. It's just faster. There was an explosion. That was odd. And dungeon level 3 is the... Or maybe it was 2? Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe that's what the dwarf gets access to faster than other characters, is just the arena and not Dwarf Town. Oh. Committing chaotic acts here, unfortunately. That's a mistake. When I'm trying to search for the stairs, now it's giving me 2 choices, because this was the floor that had 2 areas to go to, if you'll remember. Which was interesting. A fire lizard is an interesting monster to run into. Their fire breath can destroy my stuff, but their corpse, I want to say, has a 50% chance to give fire resistant as an innate quality. That's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, he didn't drop it, but you win some, you lose some. S2. Okay, so this is where... Side dungeon, perhaps? That's not... oh, yikes. Gargantuan rat. That's not a guaranteed thing unless I've just missed it for 2 years. There we go. Where is the arena? I've missed the arena. Somehow I have missed the arena. We made it to it last time on the way up. So, are we... There we go. There's the arena. You hear the ecstatic cries of a large crowd. So let's go buy a ton of food, or as much as we can afford anyway. Unfortunately, we don't have that much money. But it'll be enough to buy enough food to survive. It could be a good idea also to retreat at this point and go back. Here are your rattling vendors. Could be a good idea at this point when you run out of food stores like this. It could be a good idea at this point to retreat, go back to the first town, Turinio, and just buy some good old rations. The bad thing about rations is that they weigh a ton, and we're already burdened. So what you're looking for here is not fried bat, it is cooked lizard. They sell a bunch of stuff, like... Oh, cooked lizard is the good one. He's selling it for 5 gold pieces? Okay, so I'm going to try to buy 100. He only has 30, that's fine. We'll buy as many of them as we can find. This guy's got the fried bats. No, we don't want that. They'll sell, like, worms. Cooked roach, absolutely not. Rat tail, no sir. If we can find some more cooked lizards, though, we'll buy those. Don't mind me, I'm just killing your bro. Man. This guy is like a conscientious objector to the arena. Don't talk to him. He's a buzzkill. A fat worm. Delicious. There we go, more cooked lizards. We definitely will buy as many of these as we can. He's got 61, so that's awesome. And they cost hardly anything, and they weigh hardly anything. So now we've got 91 cooked lizards. To put this in perspective, one large ration weighs 200 stones. So it's definitely preferable to buy 91 cooked lizards at a fraction of the cost than it is to carry around like 10 rations. That's a ton of food, so we should be totally fine to head back up, or down, I should say, back down, and look for that troll in the big room. So pressing W caret right. Whoops, berserk. Can't eat that. I'm going to switch back to the Mithril Longsword. Go back. Let's go coward mode. Let's go defensive. Another thing I should tell you guys now that we're 4 episodes into this is your tactics. If you are on Berserker, you cannot train shields. If you are on Coward, you cannot train weapons. So I'm going to go defensive. I also don't think you can train attack. You may not be able to train weapons or shields on Berserk. And you may not be able to train weapons or shields on Coward. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know, at the very least, Berserking, you can't train shields, and Coward, you can't train weapons. So now we're going to go back to normal, and we're just going to wander around again. Now, one thing I do know is on your tactics, let's say if you're not berserking, but you're aggressive or very aggressive, the more aggressive you are without being berserk, to my knowledge, the more you will train your weapons, and the more defensive you are without being coward, the more you'll train your shields. Now here's a slime. As I've mentioned before, any kind of slime you want to take out with ranged attacks. I'm going to go berserk and just shoot it until it dies. Luckily, it looks like it didn't split, so we're okay there. We're already hungry again. Let's take out this flesh golem and eat some of those cooked lizards we bought. Now we're satiated. Don't go above satiated when you're already burdened. We already have a penalty to speed. We don't want more penalties to speed. We're just going to wander around, take things kind of slow, try to take out the Hellhound quickly. A Hellhound corpse. I'm not sure if eating that can grant fire resistance or not. And here's my advice. As a new player, if you don't know what a corpse does, don't eat it. And I'm still a fairly new player, and I've been playing this game for 2 years, so you want to err on the side of caution. This here is a karmic lizard. There are a variety of karmic monsters throughout the game. Karmic monsters, your first time encountering one, you may mistake it for just a regular giant lizard and attack it in melee. Attacking a karmic creature of any variety will curse you, and if you attack it, in melee. So if I swing my sword at it, even if I don't hit it, I'm pretty sure it will curse you. And if you attack it in melee again, it will doom you. Being cursed is like the opposite of blessed. Excuse me. That fudges the internal RNG rolls of the game against you. Doom is severely worse. Not only does it fudge the internal rolls against you even more, it does all kinds of bad things. It increases the chances that your stats can be drained, that your equipment can be broken. It increases the chance that enemies are wielding more powerful weapons. It increases the amount of damage they deal to you. It increases their chance to crit against you. Being doomed is an extremely bad time. Being cursed is still a bad time, but you can survive. Being doomed is something that will literally end your game unless you know how to get rid of it. Right now, we do not have the means to get rid of it. And it's not likely you will have the means to get rid of it until you're at least level 18-ish, 18, 20. So, what you can do against karmic monsters, though, is take them out with ranged attacks just like you would a slime. For some reason, if you attack karmic creatures with ranged weapons, it doesn't trigger their karmic backlash. Spider, please die. Also, when you're attacking at ranged and there's nothing anywhere near you, you can go ahead and go berserker or very aggressive. You're safe, and that's a good way to deal as much damage as you can from ranged. That large shield is likely better than the one we are carrying. Man, these tarantulas are a fairly high-level enemy, and that's a rust monster. That's a bad thing to run into. Rust monster, when he attacks me, he will be able to rust my blessed metal cap, probably my amulet of defense, my chainmail, let's see, that iron ring, the thick gauntlets, and I think those heavy boots. So the rust monster could definitely munch on my gear. What we want to do is go berserk now and try to take the rust monster out from range. It's probably not going to happen. So we've got to swing on him and try to just kill him as fast as we can. I'm going to switch to the mithril mace for this, just because we are more accurate and deal more damage. Luckily, nothing's gotten rusted yet. Always just read your messages when you're encountering a monster like this. Okay, we were able to take him down. That's good. Let's return to aggressive and put the longsword back on just to train our sword rank again. And there's a lot of arrows all over the place, so let's walk around and start picking those up. Now we're getting rocks all over the place. This is a lesser demon. Demons can breathe fire on you as well. A lot of enemies in this game can breathe fire on you and destroy your gear that way. A lot. It's kind of crazy. And remember, we are just looking for a troll. If we can find a troll and kill it, then we are going to get out of here. But so far, we haven't really run into anything super dangerous in the big room. And so now you can kind of see how the monster generation in here is very high. This is a no, a stone snake? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Ooh. The tarantula crit us for 16 damage and poisoned us, so that's kind of rough. At this point, we want to fall back to our... We're going to go coward, and we want to fall back to first aid. I have it at 40. We did not manage to properly take care of our wounds. Every time we take a hit like that, you want to try to regain some health with first aid. That's a big hit. Try to regain some health if you can. I'm tempted to eat this corpse even though we're already poisoned. It's going to poison you again. Poison can stack and deal you extra damage. The poison we're taking right now isn't hurting us very much, so we should be safe. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So now we're double poisoned. Every time we take poison damage, we're going to try to recover that damage with first aid. Okay. Coward. First aid. To bring up your skills like that, just press A. I did take care of some of my wounds. It was just one, but hey, that's good enough. We're still poisoned. That 3 was from the candle star sign. We just regained 3 and lost 3. So right now we're winning the battle against poison. We're going to press A to open up the skill list, press B for first aid. We weren't able to take care of our wounds, but that's okay. You just keep trying. I'm going to remain in coward mode. Now that we're surrounded and there's a doppelganger, you want to kind of try to get out of there if you can. As you can see, he's confusing. And that's not good. Let's go very aggressive. Yikes. We're stuck in webs now. Let's go coward. Uh-oh. I didn't even try to attack there. Or there. We're probably too confused to use skills. Let's go back to Berserk and try to take... Nope. Can think clearly again. Let's try to take the doppelganger down now. There we go. Aggressive. Is that another hellhound? No, just a rabid dog. Okay. Still poisoned. We'll recover from it eventually, and when we do, we will have poison resistance inherently. So then, inherently, we will have acquired inherent... how many times can I say inherent? We will have acquired inherent acid resistance and inherent poison resistance, and that's nice. You take care of some of your wounds. We are still poisoned. Still poisoned and still haven't found a troll. But we'll get there. This is the best place to find really any monster you're looking for, just because of the monster generation rate in here. Walk around in a bit more defensive fashion, and then when you encounter a monster, you can go aggressive or very aggressive. Take out the weaker monsters, since you can usually kill them in one hit to prevent yourself from being surrounded. Eat goblins, because you can't eat orcs. Don't worry about avoiding the cats. It's just not something you're likely to even need to worry about as a beginner in this game. Nice. One hit kill on the ghoul. Something tells me we've got another wizard summoning undead. Maybe it's a coincidence that there's so many undead. Unfortunately, there's probably a lot of worms now. The worms will breed or split or whatever they do. Still no troll, unfortunately. An assassin, that's okay. At least it's not a master assassin. I don't know what our deal was with finding all those out-of-depth monsters. That was a little excessive. Even for Adom. There's the wizard. I thought so. What's he got for me? Nothing. Bandages you can use to automatically recover from bleeding. You don't bleed so often that it's really a big deal, and bleeding will stop on its own, usually really quickly. So it's been my experience that it's not worth picking them up. This looks like a water snake. Water snakes have very deadly poison. But now that we're poison resistant, it's not as big of a deal. We got a fire beetle corpse. That's another chance of gaining inherent fire resistance, so we're going to eat that. You suddenly feel very hot. That is not the message you want to see. You want to see this stuff cools you down. So unfortunately, we did not gain fire resistance, but we have a wizard that has summoned more fire beetles to give us more chances here, so that's cool. That's nice of him. Whoa, a small crystal shield. Crystal is one of the better material types in this game. There's a very good chance that that's stronger than the shield we're currently using, and probably stronger even than the large shield we picked up before. Now, we are bloated from eating all of the corpses that we've been picking up, so that's giving us a penalty to speed and defense, so we don't want to, well, we can't eat any more, actually. Damn, even if one of these fire beetles drops its corpse, we couldn't. Let's see, congratulations, you advanced to level 12. Effects of the dodge skill are improved by 50%. That's an excellent class power. Fighters have a bunch of very good class powers. Let's see, what can we increase right now? Healing we want to get to 60. We want to try to get it to 80. To no avail, unfortunately. Do we want more protection value? Or do we want better damage with something now? That's the tough question. I'm very tempted to start taking damage talents, but I still haven't really landed on a super strong weapon. Now, there is a way to guarantee that you get a very strong axe, but we will worry about that when we get there. I'm just going to increase my protection value at this point with steel skin. So now we have 19, close to 20. And we're just going to keep wandering around. Our combat skill with swords is now at 5. So I think I will switch back to axes. Do I still have an axe on me? A hatchet, I believe. I don't. What did I must have sold it. That's unfortunate. I guess we will stick with the sword for now, while we keep looking for this troll. Just checking our talents. Hardy, healthy, iron skin, steel skin, tough, and tough skin. Okay. Am I punching? Whoops. I didn't put a weapon back on. Smart. Normally you would find a troll by now, and not a troll chief. We've got another fire beetle corpse, and we are no longer bloated. I am going to go ahead and eat this, just for the chance to gain fire resistance. You suddenly feel very hot. Unfortunately, we are now bloated, and we still did not gain fire resistance. So bad luck there. These slimes are multiplying like crazy. But they're all non-hostile, so I'm gonna leave them alone. Yulgash has just said that there actually is not a special message for gaining fire resistance from beetles. He thinks it's a fire lizard. The message you're usually looking for... Hey, water, that's actually... A watery potion is water, and that's really good. Now, you can see I mentioned it's very easy to get overwhelmed in here, and that's not just because of the monster generation, but there's also plenty of monsters like this Dark Goblin Wizard or the other wizards that summon more monsters. So as you can see, we are very overwhelmed here. When you get in a situation like this, what you want to do is go up or down some stairs. I'm going to go very defensive for this. Whew, and try to make my way to the stairs. And just take some of them with me. They can't all follow you. So I'm not 100% sure. Yulgash is more experienced with me at this game by a lot. So it is possible then that I do already have fire resistance. But I would just say, as a rule of thumb, to be sure, when you're eating a corpse like that you think is going to give you fire resistance, the message that you know that you will have gained it is going to be this stuff cools you down. So the tarantula poisoned us again. Being resistant to poison doesn't mean we're immune to poison, but it does mean that it'll deal us less damage, and it does mean that it will wear off much faster. So here's some of the stuff that I dropped before. But I don't want any of that. And I'm just gonna go back here, draw some of their attention, pull them up, take them down from weakest to strongest. So now we're poisoned and bleeding. That's a little rough. Let's try to patch ourselves up some. The Dark Wizard summoned again. A little irritating. Let's try to take him out. Okay, now we're poisoned again. I didn't even notice. We must have recovered from being poisoned. Try to patch ourselves up some. And let's, again, take... Yikes. Take them on, weakest to strongest. Patch ourselves up some. Get aggressive. I'm bleeding, or no, that was from poison, okay. So you can see, I mentioned poison can stack. I just got poisoned like 3 times. And so even with poison resistance, wow, poisoned again. Punched through my armor for 12 damage and poisoned again. So even with poison resistance, I was taking 4 points from the poison. Who knows what I'm going to be taking now? Sheesh. Alright, what's this? A giant frog corpse, so 5. Yeah, poison can stack. It's rare that you'll get poisoned that many times. But I feel like I'm saying it's rare that this, in this educational run, way too many times. Let's walk around and try to recover some health and get rid of this poison while I'm relatively safe. The poison shouldn't last very long, but we got poisoned 5 times, so... Candle star sign plus the healthy talent. That's pretty good. Yulgash thinks it's possible we don't actually have poison resistance, and that is actually true. That could be true. And the fact that we got poisoned so many times, he could be onto something. Like I said, you normally won't get poisoned that many times. If I were poison resistant, I also think that I would have recovered from being poisoned by now. Unfortunately, with those kind of the corpse effects like that, alright, the poison has worn off. With the corpse effects like that, there's no way of knowing, except to gauge, oh, you know, I'm not taking damage as much as I should. We do have another giant spider corpse here, though, so we can give it another shot. I'm not bloated. I'm going to eat it. Poisonous stuff, you vomit. Your throat feels very rough and your stomach burns. I mean, I would think that that means we are poison resistant now, but you can never be 100% sure. It did wear off very quickly. We did get poisoned. It didn't even hurt us. That leads me to believe that we did get poison resistance that time. So let's go ahead and go back down. We're at full health. Draw some fire, go back up, and take them down. This is a good strategy for survival in the big room when you get overwhelmed. Focus your fire. Go a little aggressive. The large spiders are weaker than the tarantulas. So when you can, take enemies out weaker to stronger, just to reduce their bonus to attack. And we're just going to keep doing this until all these spiders are dead. Tarantula... Wait, there was a giant spider, and then I guess the brown spider was also a giant spider? We got a light yellow potion here. Always pick up potions. They could be fantastic. You just don't know until you can identify them. There are potion vendors throughout the game. The reason you want to look at a vendor's stock is because anything that he has for sale, he will have already identified. And say he's got a potion on the ground and that it's a potion of strength, and that increases your strength score. If you happen to have that same potion in your inventory, now you know what it looks like. Every time you pick one of those up in the future, you will know that's a potion of strength, and it automatically identifies any of those same items that you already have in your inventory. Very nice. Okay, I think that's all the spiders. Good lord. It happens. Nope, we got some more spiders. And, if I'm not mistaken, and I very well might be, no, chieftains are tough customers. If I'm not mistaken, and I very well might be, we did at least gain poison resistance from that encounter. Luckily, that Eye of Destruction is non-hostile. Do your best to not turn him hostile, should you run into a similar situation. Cave fishers are easier to kill than a tarantula, so when you've got the opportunity, kill them first. Another tarantula corpse. We don't need extra poison resistance. Unfortunately, while you can stack resistances, you can't gain an inherent resistance multiple times from eating corpses. We are going to just continue to search for the troll. Essentially, if you're new to this game, that's 2 bone helmets. That's nice. Get to about level 10 if you can. You know, do the entrance dungeon until you're at level 6 or so. The beginner dungeon, I should say. I am a coward. Oh, very defensive. Wow. More water, that's good. Do the beginner dungeon to get yourself to level 6-ish. go to Terinio, take the Village Elders quest to go rescue the Carpenter. Go rescue the Carpenter, and once you're done with that, you should be at least level 8. I would think you should be close to level 10. And then once you're level 10 or so, just go into the Caves of Chaos. Head to the west and go into the Caves of Chaos. Dive down to Dwarf Town and start doing the Village Elder quests. And this is... Find a Troll is honestly... Oh boy. A Dark Orc and a Green Hag. Find a Troll is honestly probably the most common I feel like I've run into doing this quest. I've done his quest many times. I'm usually right around level 10 when I start his quest line. He asks you to kill a monster. Depending on your level, it'll be something else. And I always just go to the big room until I find one. He has several other quests to do. If you ask him about Portal rather than quest, he gives you a different quest that's considerably harder, and I wouldn't really consider it until you're more close to level 15 and have at least, I would say, at least 20 points of protection, but like a good weapon too. We're level 12. At level 13, you gain access to a special quest. That has nothing to do with Dwarf Town. I will probably get into that next video. For this video, I'm gonna sign off here pretty soon. Basically, I think I'm going to farm off camera for the troll until so I can just show you what the next quests in Thrundar's quest lines are. And then I'll show you guys what the special quest that you get access to at level 13 is. But for now, let me explain what's wrong with a Green Hag. A Green Hag, so she just attacked me in melee and she missed. No big deal. But she can cast magic spells, and she can curse/doom you. Her magic, anytime she casts a magic spell, she's trying to curse me. If I'm already cursed and she casts that spell and it lands, she's going to doom me. That's not good. My willpower is not great, so I don't have good magic resistance. What you want to do on a hag, hopefully, is shoot her down from range, because I'm pretty sure her curse is melee only. But otherwise, you're going to go berserk, and you're going to hit her as hard as you can. So, what we want to do then is go back to the Mithril Mace. It does slightly more damage. Yikes. So she didn't curse me, but look at this. The Green Hag invokes an incantation. Your short bow glows black for a moment. So she did curse my bow. Alright, she's done nothing to me there. So that could have been way worse. And I'll show you, she's cursed my bow, which means I can't take it off. You can't bring yourself to remove the short bow. Cursed. Yikes. Let's go back to normal now. And I think, guys, that's going to do it for episode 4. Thank you guys for tuning in, and Yulgash, thank you for the extra advice. Again, if you are fans of this kind of content, Yulgash has much more experience at it than I do. Go give Yulgash some attention on Twitch. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.